Harvest Harmonics, and today's episode of Axe the Expert. We have our very special guest, Keegan Nelson, Premier Outdoor Experts and Premier Farm Supply. Keegan has been into agriculture for many years now and has joined us on our science team to help us validate and run some of our university trials as part of the 1,000 university trial program. So, Keegan, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate you having me on today.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just wanted to start with just some basic questions. What brought you to study horticulture and genetics at Oregon State University?
Well, I've always been really into plants. I love plants and I love nature, and that brought me to study agriculture. And then through going to school, I became more and more interested in plant breeding and genetics, and so I made that as the of my horticulture degree. Also, I want
Nice,
to help the environment, and I want to help the people, and uh, to study in horticulture.
nice. Now, did you have a farming background before you went to school, or was this kind of a new thing at that point?
Nope, not no background in that field where I went to college, other than just kind of hobby farming and such on my own.
Nice. That's nice. And so you got into it, you jumped in and studied genetics and plant breeding. That must have been very interesting, getting into the delving of how it all works and how it relates to agriculture.
Exactly. Yeah, it was very interesting. There's a whole lot to plant breeding and genetics, that I did enjoy, as well as the horticulture was great too.
Nice. So when
Plant
you
breeders are
graduated,
always
when you
interesting.
yeah, okay, yeah, absolutely. And so when you graduated, you started Premier Farm Supply and Premier Outdoor Experts in Wisconsin, and I just wanted to find out what was your goal in starting those two companies?
Well, the goal began to as a way to sustainable agricultural consultation company. So we wanted to reach out to farmers to help them adopt more sustainable practices for their farms, in order to help um, the environment and themselves, and also the people consuming the food. And it evolved to become a environmental restoration company, as well as a sustainable landscape consultation company. Um, and then the new goal now is, aside from those goals to continue, is to be a international technology dealer for the Kiminosi plant boot,
Nice.
and that's where Premier
And
Supply or Premier Farm Supply came out of that.
nice. So I was going to ask you about that.
Thanks.
So you started with your degree in horticulture and genetics in terms of like learning about plant physiology and developing those sustainable models. So what was it about either Harvest Harmonics or the Kiminosi plant booster that really attracted your attention and kind of made you want to get started as in promoting and being a dealer for us?
Well, I truly believe that Kiminosi plant booster technology is the most sustainable agricultural technology that exists now, and maybe we could argue that has the most sustainable agricultural technology that's ever been invented. You know,
Wow.
we're basically experiencing second green revolution, due to the results that we're seeing from Kiminosi technology. And it's been almost 100 years since we had a green revolution. I know there's been advancements in plant breeding and genetics that were later than that, but we haven't had any really pivotal agricultural advancements in almost 100 years. And you know also, we want to help farmers, we want to help the environment, and that goal is the same with Harvest and that's kind of what brought me onto the team and in that goal.
Nice, and we love having you. You took a lot of time off my plate, so I appreciate having you. Um, Really, I just kind of wanted to find out too, and I don't know that we discussed this much, but in my opinion, I kind of think that the traditional model of agriculture, the reliance on petrochemicals, the reliance on you know chemical fertilizers and inputs and those types of things, pesticides, is really it's kind of hit its peak in terms of like, okay, how do we move forward from here? And in fact, in some ways, I would argue that maybe the overuse of some of those chemicals is actually hurting soil health and various things. What are your thoughts on that in terms of where the overall industry is, and how sustainable it is in its current form?
Well, right now, it's pretty different for farmers to be able to adopt sustainable technology. Profit margin on food is so low that they just need to survive and produce enough food, to do that and to keep their farm. So it's been a really difficult um, time for farmers to adopt sustainable agriculture technology. And we luckily, Kiminosi plant booster technology can improve yields and profit as well as sustainability. So it's not one or the other. It's both. Aside from that, as a planet, we do need to make agriculture more sustainable. Like you were saying, chemicals they do reduce ecology of the soil and the environment. And luckily, our technology actually improves ecology and it improves the environment. And then, like you were saying too, as far as chemical fertilizers or natural fertilizers go, we have the plateau where we can't achieve we can't achieve any greater results using the chemicals and the fertilizers that we have now. So the next step is for all farmers to adopt Kiminosi plant technology so that they can not only improve the environment and the ecology, but also become more profitable farmers, be able to produce more food that is more, the food will be more nutritious. So that's kind of where I see the direction of agriculture going.
Nice. And I had a question here from
Thanks.
our audience. She says, thanks Keegan and Jim. Interesting interview. She says she wants to know, how does this technology influence soil conductivity? Have you been able to? I know you've been going through some of our case studies and stuff. And what in terms of what you've seen? How do you feel it's improving soil conductivity?
So we've seen great results with KPB or Kiminosi plant booster technology, improving the electroconductivity of the soil. And for people out there that maybe don't know all the physics of electroconductivity of the soil, it's the ability of the soil organic matter and the clay part to hold a charge that would attract the minerals in the soil. And so we want to improve the electroconductivity of the soil so that we can prevent leaching of the nutrients when rain comes or when irrigation occurs. With our technology, we're improving soil C, and that's improving the retention of the nutrients in the soil. And our technology also it makes it more efficient nutrient absorption and metabolism. So we're actually finding that more nutrients remain in the soil from that, as well as the increase increased EC soil. So I think we've seen everything from 20 to 65+% increase in the EC of the soil using KPB.
Wow.
So huge
Wow.
results.
And that'll obviously help reduce the need for fertilizers and inputs when you can retain those minerals in the soil.
Yes, exactly.
Nice. And next question I wanted to ask you was, and this kind of goes back to, you started with this as a kind of dealer up in Wisconsin. And, after several conversations with our CEO, Francesco Arlia, you came on board as our science director to help us kind of manage a lot of these university trials that we have going as part of our 1,000 science trial program. So what will you be doing in that role as far as the science director with us here at Harvest Harmonics?
So I'll be managing the international scientific, or KPB. I'll be assisting the scientists and farmers with these trials in any way that I can. I'll also be helping to analyze data in order to record results based upon that data. I basically make a determination of what is the data really showing, and to kind of help scientists in analyzing that data. Also follow through with the scientists to help them with scientific article publication. So when we get the results and they're very clear, as we've seen, then we want the scientists to publish these, preferably peer-reviewed scientific journal articles. And the goal of this is to increase farmer. Farmers are hesitant to adopt new technology, and the more science we can show them, the more confidence we can build with these farmers, and that's the goal. And then finally, also help with farmer outreach and making sure that farmers that their technology is working correctly, and that they're satisfied with the technology.
Nice. Yes, absolutely. And this when Francesco, or Frank, we call him Frank here, when he mentioned we're going to do 1,000 university trials, my first thought is, oh my God, who's going to run that? And when he brought you on board, I was so happy, because I thought, oh my God, I'm going to have to run that too. And it's just having you on board was just so a big relief to me.
Thank you, Jim. I'm happy to be Harvest Harmonics team.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, in terms of like the commercial aspect, I think you already touched on this, but how do you think that the Kiminosi plant booster technology will influence commercial agriculture, like profitability and input costs and those types of things?
Well, once again, I believe our technology is going to revolutionize agriculture. We're going to make farmers more successful. We're going to help them have its. We're going to help the farmers have less stress and to be happier overall. And we believe that our technology is going to have a huge impact on ending world hunger and starvation too. That's the big goal of our company, is to make people healthier, and also to solve some of these world issues. And I believe that our technology will improve the environment, which will in the end make farming a bit easier for farmers. They won't have as much of a tough time with the environment when environment's thriving from our technology.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I know that's been a big problem. Is it's sort of that dwindling spiral where you create problems in the soil and the environment, and then that makes you have to use more chemicals and inputs that further damages the environment and the ecosystem, and then it keeps going down and down. So definitely our system's helping reverse that trend.
100%.
Cool. So, and I have another question here from our audience here, and that is, how did the Kiminosi plant booster frequencies operate in the plant? That's an interesting question there.
Well, basically, it comes down to the fact that all cells have in between the electron and the proton, and this creates a vibratory frequency. And when you take all the cells of an organ, it's considered a composite frequency. And so what we're doing is we're replicating the frequencies of plants, which improves the metabolic and basically improves the biological processes that the plants are undergoing. So everything from metabolism to photosynthesis, disease resistance, everything in between. Um, we but we're not just affecting the plant too. We're affecting the environment in a positive way. These frequencies also interact with the microorganism community of the soil. It activates dormant microbes. Microbes will assist in breaking down organic matter, turning it into fertilizer that's usable for the plants. So essentially we're amplifying processes using these ultra low frequency radio waves.
Nice. So yeah, we're recalibrating that plant back to its ideal state on a continual basis. So it's definitely helping that plant stay productive the whole time, for sure.
Exactly.
Nice. And the next question I have here is, how can this technology benefit pastures and livestock? Any comment on that?
We've seen great results with KPB in pastures and livestock actually as well. Primarily, when you're talking livestock, it has to do with forage that the animal eating. If you use Kiminosi plant booster technology on the forage, you have not just better growth of the forage, but you have increased density in the forage. And so therefore, when the animal consumes that forage, it's going to improve the nutrition of that meat product. And we're also seeing great results with dairy farmers too. So when the cow eats the forage um, that has been treated with Kiminosi plant booster technology, then the cow's getting more nutrition because the forage has more nutrition, and this relates to increased milk and increased nutrient of the milk itself. And so yeah, it's great results there.
Wow, that's amazing. So not only can we help plants, we're also helping the animals that eat the plants, which is a good sign.
Yes, I agree.
Nice, nice. Another question here is, can this technology be used or applied to organic farms?
Yes, this technology organic in nature. We're working right now on the certification process for our technology. We want it to be certified in all the organic certifications out there, including things like organic or European biodynamic. We want this technology to be certified. We know to be certified. We're just working on the process of that right now. But this technology will work on any type of farm, whether it's conventional or organic. It'll work the same. Um, due due to the fact that organic farms generally have more ecological function in the soil, we generate faster results. But we're going to see great results in conventional farms. We're going to see great results in organic farms, and everything in between.
Nice. And so, also just kind of
Thanks.
piggybacking a little bit. So how do you see the benefits, or what benefits would you expect to see with Kiminosi with horticultural, like ornamentals or nurseries or those types of crops?
Yeah, so luckily our technology works on all plants, so that includes landscape or non-edible plants too. So the big benefit there is that you're improving um, you're improving vigor and of the plant, and so this will correlate in landscapes too. But interestingly, it will also correlate environmental restoration projects, when the environment's really stressed out, and our technology improves the vigor and stress tolerance due, in a situation where the environment is degraded. So huge potential there. We've seen great results in trees and ornamental plants and everything in between.
Nice. So
Thanks.
going back a little bit to the university program we mentioned earlier. If a university is seeing this and they're interested in doing a trial with us, or trialing some of our technology for various purposes in their university, what is the best way for them to either get a hold of you or start a trial up with us?
Definitely. I'd be happy to help out. Anyone can reach me at my email, science@harvestharmonics.com. And you can reach me on my phone number at 414-400-2575. That's 414-400-2575. And also, if you are already working with existing Harvest Harmonics employees, they can, besides myself, they can forward your information to me or information to you.
I'm going to put your email up there. So it's science at harvestharmonics.com. And you can also go back through this and get his direct line, or you can call us at the main line here, which is also on the screen, and be happy to connect you with Keegan to get those trials done. And so I guess the last question I had would be, what types of trials? Because I know you were working with Frank, and I think we got up to like 80 or 90 different trials. What kind? Just, you don't have to go through all of them, obviously, but just what kinds of trials do we recommend, or are part of our protocols that you typically recommend for universities?
Yeah, we have quite an extensive list of proposed um, trials, and this ranges from everything from yield analysis to disease resistance and to water and fertilizer reduction use analysis. But I mean, we're willing to work with anyone, and they're allowed to do any trial that they find would be beneficial to their local area. Right now we've got some pretty interesting trials going on. We have some cassava and rice trials proposed in Liberia. We have sugarcane testing proposed in Pakistan. We have strawberry trials in California testing disease resistance against powdery mildew. The list is endless, and we're flexible. We know that everyone has different needs at their farm, and that we want to solve those problems and give them great solutions, and at the same time as helping them out and helping the environment and helping the customers out too.
Great. Great. Well, that's amazing. And I think, Keegan, we really appreciate having you. Is there anything else you'd like to discuss or mention to our audience while we have you here?
Well, I think we got a whole lot of questions in the comments section. Should we take one more question?
Yeah, I was looking through. I thought I got them all. Let me see here. Maybe I missed one. I think we have some replies too. Another one, I guess. Here's another one. We already answered. We may have answered this. I'm not sure. Is there certain types of irrigation that this technology works with? And I guess the follow-up question would be, does this work for non-irrigating farms?
Okay, so right now our technology works with any type of irrigation system. Every type of irrigation system under the sun, our technology work with. We've advancement with our science team, and we are in the testing phase of a non-irrigation application, the Kiminosi plant booster technology. I think we're going to start those trials in Liberia soon, and that would be a foliar application of Kiminosi plant booster frequencies, I think we're either talking about using a pelletized amendment or another form of application like a spray or something. So it will to all farms regardless of irrigation status.
Nice. That's a huge news because so many farmers have contacted us over the last 3 years saying, "Hey, I don't irrigate, but I'd love your technology. I want to use it." And obviously, research and development has to move forward, and it's great news to hear that that's going forward.
It's very exciting. I'm very happy about it too. A lot of the world's farms are non-irrigated, so we can make a huge impact on that side of farm too now.
Nice. I love it. That's great. Well, that's about all we have for today's show. Keegan, I want to thank you so much for joining us here on the show and introducing yourself. I know the farmers out there and the university guys that are going to be part of our trials are going to be working with you at some point, either in the near future or in the future. And thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Jim. I appreciate your time too.
All right. Thank you. And guys, if you guys want more information about the Kiminosi plant booster or about Harvest Harmonics, go to our website at harvestharmonics.com. You can check it out. Check out all of our case studies. You can also fill out a request for quote form or request for trial form there on the website. Or you can also, of course, call us at 727-324-6750 for more information. We look forward to hearing from you. And you'll talk to either myself or Keegan or one of us here. And we would love to work with you to help your farm become part of the future of farming today. Have a great day, guys, and we'll talk